Okay, so here's the Cornely L machine. I just brought it in from the car. Haven't even really looked at it yet or anything, but it has the spool holder and the thing that wraps, and it has the part of the tower thing, but it doesn't have the thing for the spool on top. And it does have a piece of thread that was apparently being used with this green color. This one's pretty rusty looking, but I'm gonna hose it down with WD-40 or liquid wrench. I think my husband has the WD-40 in the garage. And hopefully get this puppy freed up. This one I think is a keeper. Anyway, okay. Okay, so I wanted to give you all an update. I got this screw loose and I took the faceplate off. I sprayed it with WD-40 and I sprayed the crack on the faceplate with WD-40 first. And now I've sprayed everything with WD-40, and I was using this one because it has this little straw. It's not as messy as this, but it's still pretty messy. And I think I'm getting high. But anyway, so I got the face off and I sprayed the whole inside. I went upstairs and I ate a little food and I came back. So what I'm finding out, this is my theory. Y'all can roast me on it if you want. But the wheel is now wiggling a little bit. So when I watch it wiggle, I can see everything in the face, and it's trying to go up and down, okay? But it's not rotating fully, so I don't force it. I just wiggle it. And so I know that pretty much everything in the face is probably working because it's trying to move. But then when I try to turn the handle, get nothing. Like, it's really hard. But if you look carefully, the worm gear wiggles. I don't know if you can see it, but I can feel it. And then this, can you see that? This is wiggling. Okay, you can see. Okay, those gears are wiggling. Those gears are wiggling. And this one is wiggling, but it's the one next to it that's not. Okay, and then I got my fingers a little dirty. I'll try to grab my phone with my clean part of my hand. Okay, so then if I come over here and I wiggle this, this is attached, the rotation is attached to the bottom shaft. So you can see that everything in the face, I can't make it rotate any farther than just a little bit, but you can see that everything in the face is rotating. And then I can see, I grab this part. Let me see here. What am I trying to grab? Okay, if I turn this part, I can see that everything in here is wiggling. Okay, but it looks like this one is wiggling and this one is not. So let's watch. Okay, I can see this one has a little bit of movement. So this one, just the two gears on the end of that long stick, that is what's not wiggling. So I'm just gonna leave it for the night and I'll come back later. But that's my theory, is that it's only this one part, maybe in this piece here, or where it goes through the bottom of the machine, sorry. But you can see that when I wiggle this, like, everything is in fact moving in the face. So it just sort of narrows it down to this being a problem. And then also when I wiggle this. So that's how I'm kind of sourcing it. So I sprayed WD-40 on that, and I'm just going to let that sit. And then this, of course, is also tied to the other shaft. So that just has to sit. We'll just wait. But it looks like This will be up and running in no time. Okay, thanks you. Thanks for watching. Okay, so this thing was sitting overnight with the WD-40 on it, and I just came downstairs and I tried to move the handle, and lo and behold, that gear up here, this one, sorry, today, it is now moving. So everything is moving. Just need a little more WD-40. It's moving down here. So that was the one that was stuck. It's still not turning all the way, but that's improvement overnight. Hey everybody, here is the Cornely L machine I picked up yesterday. So, as you know, it was kind of frozen yesterday, and I put the WD-40 on it, and I let it sit overnight, and most things were wiggling, except for the one gears on a shaft that were here that connect the bottom. So today when I got home, I wiggled it a little more, and then it started rotating. So I spent, I don't know, a couple hours cleaning it with the WD-40 and my toothbrush. And that's literally all I used was WD-40 and my toothbrush. And I got it cleaned up pretty good. It's not like polished or anything, but you know, I'm testing it right now. So basically, it was complete. It did have the tower, the first part of the tower here, but I took that off. That's downstairs, but I don't have the spool holder that goes on top of that. So I can't do any fancy cording right now. But all I did to this was pick it up yesterday, bring it home, put WD-40 on it last night. Then I cleaned it with the WD-40 and a toothbrush today. I stole springs from Rusty, my Cornely A, and I stole the little tension device, this thing from Rusty as well, because this one just didn't have that kind of tension device. It had the paddle. So this machine is sitting in Rusty's table now. Rusty has been evicted, but it is basically working. So this is my first stitches on this machine. I started out over here. Let me turn the light on so you guys can see. So I started out over here, and the tension was way too tight, so I loosened the tension. It was, and I didn't touch the timing or anything. I did put in a new needle. It's a number 4 needle that was in it, but it was rusty and the barb was broken off, so I just put in a new needle. So I started here as my first stitches here. Tension was too tight, so I loosened my tension. And, excuse me, I'm using, oh my God, excuse me, I had a cold earlier in the week. So I'm using this as regular household sewing thread, and it was going okay. So then I decided to add in the thread on the bobbin, and I started with this green thread, but it was spewing oil everywhere. So I switched to this combination of metallic threads in a bobbin from Mauser, and I started running it, and so I now have it working nicely, and basically that's it. A couple hours of cleanup, a new needle, and I had to borrow the springs and the tension from Rusty. So I'll show you how it stitches. So let me put you in my phone holder here. Sorry, oops, sorry about the wiggling. Let me see. Okay, trying to focus. So basically, right now I'm doing the raised stitch, and what that is there's this cord here that's going around. It's looping around the chain from the bottom. And when you make the tension on the chain loose, the thread in this thing pulls the chains tight, and it gives you this ray stitch, or I think in Ruth's books, or one of the other books, it's called a star stitch or sunburst or something. So basically, that's what it does. And if you want like longer rays, I'm going to reach under and I'm going to just loosen the tension a little. Hopefully it'll keep working. So now I've got nice long rays. So this is just cording right now, and I can have something come down from the top if I want to like have a nice fat thing, line of fat stuff. But in any case, that's the Cornely L machine, and I just want to show you guys that I got it working. It's been cleaned with the WD-40, and I did put some, this is my tri-flow. I did follow up with full oiling of synthetic lubricant on the entire machine, but it's still like spewing oil and stuff coming out everywhere. But basically it seems to be working good. I didn't do anything to the timing, and so it's good. I like it. I'll pull you in here and show you the stitches. So basically, here's where I started the first stitches on this machine. It was too tight, and then I loosened the tension. I got it sewing nicely, and then I threw in the bobbin, and I started doing this raise stitch, and there we are. So I'm gonna have to find or figure out how to get the spool on the top, and then I can do whatever that thing is called. But that is basically a Cornely L machine, and it's working. I mean, I can record some other videos on this, but this kind of machine, you have to know how to do chain stitch first. Then you just throw this thing on, and it like does it. It's really actually not that hard. Okay, thanks for watching. Okay, so I'm here with my Cornely L that I picked up on Thursday, and I got it all up and running. I had to get a little creative and 3D print a part to attach this spool holder to it, but basically it's fully working now. So what I've done is I've just kind of cleaned up this machine, and then this whole part here was missing, but I had this original part. So my husband designed this part here, and I 3D printed that this morning, and that part is actually being used with this spool holder, which is a Mauser part. This is a Mauser spool holder from their super machine that's basically the same as a Cornely. So we printed the part, put the fuzzy stuff in, and now I'm ready to go. So what happens down here is the blue stuff goes through the tube and it comes out the bottom. The blue thread, which is here, is the chain stitch thread, and this yellow thread is getting wrapped around the chain stitch thread and the blue thread. Every revolution this makes is one up and down of the needle. That's a technical term, up and down. So anyway, I will show you what it does, but basically this is fully working. It's a nice machine. I like it. So let me put you in the holder and I'll demonstrate. Okay, so the top spool rotates and follows the direction of the sewing. So I'll just do a little bit of sewing now. I haven't really fine-tuned this machine, so hopefully it's working for me. It definitely can use a little bit of fine-tuning. So basically, the top spool is following the direction of the machine, and the yellow spool is wrapping around, and the blue thread is coming from below and is doing the chain stitch, and then the yellow thread is wrapping around the furry blue stuff and the chain stitch together, and it's attaching it. Let me zoom you in. Okay, so you can watch the yellow spool wrapping around. The yellow spool is just household sewing thread, and also the blue thread that I'm using for chain stitch is also household sewing thread, because what I want to happen is when I wash this, the furry stuff will come up and hide the thread that's holding it down. So you actually, then you won't see that it's like attached. It should be looking like it's invisibly attached. So that's the Cornely L, and thanks for watching. That's basically how it works, and I really think it's a cool machine. I'm thrilled that I was able to 3D print this part and make it work together. So that's it. Let me zoom in on the stitches real quick here so you can see the stitching. So you can see the furry thing is being wrapped by the yellow, and if I did a good job, you don't see the blue because the blue is underneath, coming up from underneath. So basically that's what you see on the bottom is the blue thread, and this is what you see on the top. So anyway, that's the Cornely L machine. Okay, thanks for watching.